In the last episode, I jacked up this side of the house and got that bottom plate there back in place. And in this film, I'm going to be taking out one of the windows and making a repair to that.
Right. Although I'm not going to do a great deal of internal restoration inside the wall here because of this strong outer skin, I'm relying on that to give it some extra strength. But I do want to remove the reason for the damage, or one of the reasons why the damage can actually occur, and that is water leaking through the window frame. So I'm going to take this window out and replace the part that's damaged. Now this looks like it's been insulated with linen, flax. It's certainly a fibre. I'm pretty sure it's flax. This is typical for first half of the 20th century, right up to the 60s. And then we start seeing more the use of mineral wool insulation around about that time. I might save that insulation and reuse it. There's very little sign that it's had any damage. Looks like it's got a bit of wool in it as well. It's not unusual people to use their old clothes and stuff. Fishing nets I've seen used. There are some different opinions about doing this insulation around windows in Scandinavia. Some people say that you shouldn't have it. It shouldn't be too tight. You shouldn't pack it too tight because it causes condensation and prevents drying. But I've seen it like this a lot. It's packed tight, and I tend to think that it's probably best to just replace it the same way it's been. It's not, it hasn't suffered very much damage from being done like this, and you can actually quite easily see the way condensation has worked here, or humidity. Oh, I don't know if that is focused or not. But so everything that's kind of darker is where it's had humidity, and the lighter is where it hasn't. So here you can see quite clearly that the humidity stops within the first 3 or 4 millimeters. So that kind of proves that the condensation hasn't happened further into the construction. Again, just the very surface that has some dark coloration. Inside it's the same colour as it was the day it went in. So there are so many factors involved in how each building behaves, and it's not just the building, the way the construction behaves, but it's also the way the people that have lived in the house have used it. So if this had been a bathroom, it might have been a different story, but this is a kitchen. So I mean, the kitchen obviously is a high humidity room because people would have been cooking in it, so it would have higher relative humidity than the rest of the house, which on the whole tends to be dry in Norway in the winter because of the use of wood burning stoves. So I'm going to switch off the camera now, just carry on taking out this insulation, putting it in the bag, and then when I can see the nails that hold the window in place, I'll take those away. So the window's ready to take out.
Getting these interior details off, the mouldings, is quite tricky, especially when they've sat there for a while. but by using two small crowbars, trying to slip them in under the side and gently prise it up. Managed to get them off. Small splits like that I glue. It was difficult to get off because of the rusty nail. Sometimes it's to do with the paint making it stick. It really is worth the time to do this slowly and carefully to try and avoid the damage, because copying something like this and having to paint it up to the same amount of coats of paint that were there originally would be very time consuming. And even if you do split them when you're taking them off like this, they're quite easily glued up, and when with a little touch up with paint it's really not visible. I'm just vacuuming the dust away as I pull that stuff out on the inside of the house, because it's quite dusty what's inside the walls. I'll do a bit more from the outside now. What I'm actually looking for here is the place where it's nailed. Usually they're nailed at the top and at the bottom, but in this case it looks like it's just been nailed at the top. Of course this can be done by hand with a metal saw. I made a mark on the inside where I think the nail is. There were some nails in the on the bottom edge on this one as well, so it's quite possible that there are more nails on the top edge as well. A lot of these buildings are not actually built by they're built by the people that lived in them usually. Well, not usually, but you know, a lot of them are not built by builders. So you get all kinds of different variations of the theme. Maybe I'm stuck. There it is. So there's still a nail there. You can hear it being pulled out. Have a little look at what we can see here. It's really not bad. When I put this back, I'm going to have a board that goes right into the underneath the outside panel to stop this humidity that comes in there. A little bit of humidity there. So that's come from rain. It hasn't come from condensation. So you can see here, you can see quite clearly that there hasn't been any condensation until perhaps the very outside edge of the wall, which is what you'd expect. In fact, this is the original height, the thickness of the wall here. So that would have been near the cold weather there, and then it's been made thicker with another set of panel, another layer. It's always interesting to see what you find inside. And then here, let's have a little look at the top there. You can kind of see quite clearly that this damage is caused by rain. It's not caused by condensation. So I'm not going to replace this piece, although there was a little bit of rot in it. I'm very quickly down to fresh timber there. And the way I'm going to construct
the top part of this will stop it from getting wet. I'm going to do a better solution for above the window, so there's no chance of water coming in. So I'm not worried about that developing further. As to whether this is linen or jute or some other kind of plant fibre, I'm not sure, but it's certainly some kind of plant fibre. Mostly it's in good condition. I certainly think I'm going to reuse it. So I'm going to just replace this bottom part. So I'll clear a space on the trailer, and gives me some work to do today. There's not enough other to do. Clean windows. Only one of the windows had hinges, the other one was just nailed on. Makes it a bit tricky to take off. Okay, right. Oh, not just any old nails either. Massive nails with corrugated surfaces as well. So they split it when they did that, and then they just covered it with paint. And big risk breaking the glass there. Gently. Gently does it. Straightforward for now. So I'm just going to go away and find a piece of wood that suits that that bit that's at the bottom there to copy. I'll film a bit more later.
So I found a suitable piece of spruce in the store shed, in the wood shed, and although it's got a few nail holes in it and stuff, that's fine. I'll just put some linseed putty in those and cover them up before I paint them. So I'm just trying to keep it as simple as possible, really, just to replace the minimum amount of material. So the bottom piece was completely ruined, really, but the side pieces, although they have a little bit of rot in them, it's okay to just take a little bit out there with a router. Just route out a little pocket there and put a new piece of wood in to act as a joint. And they're kind of self-supporting, these windows, once they're in, with the nails that support them in the wall. So they don't need to have much strength in the joints. So there we go, sealed up. Next time I'll make some film showing a little repair on under the window. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.